The Stettynskloof Pass is a fascinating drive offering a wide range of interesting features. It's a long pass at 18.3 kilometers and the 245-meter altitude gain is barely noticeable due to the length of the pass. There are 5 smaller summit points along the route which present as a series of small passes all joined together along one long road. Essentially, this is a service road for the DR01386 irrigation scheme, with the double pipes of the irrigation scheme constantly being in one's view. This is the only detraction from an otherwise visually stunning drive, but to be quite practical, if the pipeline wasn't built, there wouldn't be a road either. The road remains on the southeastern side of the Untitled, which has carved this deep and rugged kloof through the Stettynskloof Mountains. It is most unusual for the kloof not to be named after its dominant river. The road is well maintained by the Worcester municipality and lies mostly on private land owned by the Dwarsberg Trout Hideaway, which is a large commercial farm which also offers camping and cottages. So the good news is that if you're a guest at the farm, you may drive this pass. Anyone suffering from acrophobia should not drive this route. The first part of the pass is a very easy traverse through a number of wine and fruit farms, which include Weltevrede, Looshoek, Rooinekke and Alartskraal. On the left, the road is bordered by tall mountains, and the right-hand side offers views of well-manicured vineyards and orchards stretching right across the substantial floodplain of the Untitled. Keep a lookout for the distinctive rock called Malkop Klip about 600 meters after the start on the right-hand side. Most of this first section of the pass traverses the original farm known as Horlogekrans. Along this first section, there are a number of lovely old Cape Dutch farmsteads, and at the 1.4 kilometer point, on the left-hand side is an immaculately restored farmhouse with the year 1847 set into its gable. The setting is quite magnificent amongst rolling lawns and shady oak trees. This meander through the first set of farms sets the mood for the road ahead, but rest assured that this is by far the easiest part of the pass. Whilst driving through this active farming area, be aware of children and pedestrians on or near the roadway. After 1.9 kilometers, you'll arrive at the end of the tarde section, which is also marked by a cattle grid and a steel sliding gate, which requires a passcode to gain entry. You have to pre-book either to picnic, camp, rent a cottage or eat at the bistro at least one day before your arrival. On completion of your booking, you'll be sent an SMS with a gate code which changes weekly. Please note that the farm office and facilities are closed on Sundays. Once through the gate, you'll be on gravel for the rest of the pass, so it's perhaps wise to lower tire pressures by 20%, otherwise you'll be in for a fairly bumpy ride. The road winds its way gently into the southwest, ascending very gently with the vineyards keeping you company on the right. The scenery is quite lovely and gets better as progress is made up the kloof. Along this gravel section, you'll get your first close-up glimpses of the irrigation pipes, which you'll be seeing a lot more of for the next 20 kilometers. At the 3-kilometer mark, the road kisses the banks of the Untitled for the first time and changes direction abruptly into the south. The next 3 kilometers sees the kloof progressively narrowing, with the mountains closing in on the left and the valley narrowing on the right. There are a number of twists and turns along this section, but the road is generally quite wide and passing vehicles from the opposite direction is not a problem. As long as you stick to the 40 km per hour speed limit, there should be no issues. Dwarsberg is a more modern name, as the original farm was called Elandsfontein 512. Just to the eastern side of Dwarsberg is a cluster of houses with the bizarre and rather humorous name of Chops and Change. The farm is well watered, not only by the swiftly flowing and perennial Untitled, but by 5 smaller streams that cascade down the Dwarsberg Mountains from the eastern side. The biggest of these is the northerly one named Waterkloof, followed in succession by Draaikloof, Tierkloof, Frontkraalse Kloof and Waboomskraalse Kloof. These smaller streams generally only flow during the wetter winter months. Be sure to watch parts 2, 3, 4 and 5 of the Stettynskloof Pass.